Hey there, let's talk about something that hits close to home for so many small business owners: creating content. Specifically, how to create a plan that actually works for you instead of feeling like a giant weight on your shoulders. A plan that lets you say goodbye to burnout for good.
Does this look familiar? That constant nagging pressure to post, to create, to engage, it can leave you feeling completely and totally drained. If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you're in the right place. And you're definitely not alone in feeling this way. I mean, look at this number. A study from the Content Marketing Institute found that a whopping 73% of small businesses struggle with being consistent. And the number one reason? You guessed it, burnout. So let's get one thing straight right now. This isn't some personal failing on your part. It's a system problem.
So, let's kick things off by digging into what I call the content burnout trap. We're going to pull back the curtain and see why most of the expert advice you hear out there is, well, actually making things a whole lot worse.
And this, right here, is the massive disconnect. Most content advice is built for these huge brands, right? They've got entire teams, giant budgets, the whole shebang. But for a small business owner, where you're the CEO, the marketer, the accountant, all of it, that advice isn't just a little unhelpful, it's completely unrealistic.
And that's the real kicker, isn't it? When you try to apply a Fortune 500 strategy to your one-person shop, you're not just making things harder on yourself, you're trying to play a game with rules that were literally designed for you to lose. You're set up to fail from the get-go.
So what's the answer then? Well, it all starts with a major shift in how we think about this stuff. It's time to stop fighting against our own reality and start working with our energy.
This really means we have to consciously, purposefully reject that whole hustle harder culture. The goal is no longer about doing more, not at all. It's about building a smarter, more personalized system that actually respects the fact that you have limited time and energy. So the first practical tool in our new toolkit is energy-aligned planning. It's super simple. Just ask yourself, when during the week are you at your most creative, your most brilliant? That's your window for the heavy lifting, writing, recording, designing. And when do you usually hit that 3 p.m. slump? Perfect. That's when you do the low-energy stuff, like scheduling posts or replying to a few comments.
And listen, this isn't just some feel-good, fluffy idea. Research from Harvard Business Review actually shows that when you align your work with your natural energy cycles, you can boost your productivity by up to 40%. That's proof you can get way more done by working smarter, not just pushing longer hours.
Okay, the next piece of this puzzle is applying the good old 80-20 rule to your content. Instead of trying to do a million different things, you get strategic. You figure out that tiny 20% of your content that's actually driving 80% of your business results. And I mean real results, leads, sales, not just vanity likes.
So what does that powerful mix look like in the real world? Well, for most small businesses, it's something like this. See? The biggest chunk of your effort goes into educational stuff that genuinely helps your audience. Then, a smaller piece is all about building trust with some behind-the-scenes content. And only a tiny little slice is for direct promotion. This is focused, people, not frantic. All right, we've got the mindset sorted. Now let's get our hands dirty and actually build the system. This is the practical, step-by-step how-to for making content that you can actually sustain without all the stress.
Say hello to the 4-week batching method. This is a total game changer, I'm not kidding. Instead of scrambling every single day, you just focus on one stage per week. Week 1, you plan. Week 2, you create everything. Week 3, you schedule it all out. And week 4, you analyze. This system stops the chaos of constantly switching tasks and leaves you with a whole month of content, just ready to go.
Now, if you want to supercharge that batching process, we bring in the content multiplication strategy. The idea is brilliant in its simplicity. You create one big, juicy, valuable cornerstone piece of content each month, and then you slice and dice it into a bunch of smaller pieces.
So, for example, one single blog post, boom, that becomes 5, 6, 7 social media updates. One video you record, that can be turned into a podcast episode, a blog post, and a handful of Instagram reels. This is the ultimate work smarter, not harder strategy in action. It's beautiful. Okay, last but not least, we have to talk about success. Because if you measure the wrong things, you will always feel like you're behind. It's time we completely redefine what success actually looks and feels like for your business.
What this means is you have got to stop obsessing over those vanity metrics like follower counts and likes. I mean, they're nice, but they don't pay the bills, right? Instead, you focus on quality metrics that show real, tangible growth. your engagement rate, the number of leads you generated, your customer acquisition cost. That's the stuff that actually moves the needle.
I love this quote because it just nails it. Checking your analytics every day is exactly like weighing yourself every hour. You're just going to drive yourself crazy over these tiny little ups and downs that mean absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's all about zooming out.
So instead of that daily check-in, do a real deep dive once a quarter. Ask yourself these 4 simple questions. Notice how the focus here has nothing to do with vanity metrics. It's all about real business impact and, just as importantly, your own energy. This is how you start making smarter, more sustainable, long-term decisions. And here's a really simple truth that we forget all the time. Your capacity is not a constant. It changes. Life happens. Business has busy seasons and slow seasons. The real secret isn't to feel guilty when you can't keep up, but to actually plan for these ebbs and flows right from the start.
And the best way to do that is with these 3 predefined content modes. You've got your high-energy peak season, where maybe you batch extra content. You've got your normal, sustainable maintenance mode, and then you have a guilt-free survival mode for when life just gets crazy. This framework gives you permission to be human.
So let's bring this all home. The goal here is not, and never should be, to turn yourself into a content-creating machine. No, the goal is to build a calm, sustainable, manageable system that supports your business and, most importantly, protects your own sanity.
And that really just leaves us with one last question for you to think about. What is your minimum viable content strategy? What's the absolute smallest, most manageable amount you can commit to doing consistently without any stress? Start there. Because one small, sustainable step is infinitely more powerful than a giant leap that leads you right back to burnout.